Is he going to be that game-changing player? I don't think so.
I don't think he wants to be coached.
He proved that he is no Batman.
I don't think he could be the best player on your team.
Kyrie Irving.
Nobody knows. Nobody's been in my position.
I spent the last 8 years trying to do what everybody else wanted to do. And I don't owe anybody shit.
Is giving you everything you would want in this doubleheader where revenge is on the menu. Unfortunately for these Boston fans, I'll have to wait to welcome Kyrie back to the TD Garden. In the meantime, we got two of the hottest teams in the East going battle in about 30 minutes live on Twitter, on YouTube, and the ESPN app. No Kyrie, but we got these fans behind us here at the Hub Bar right in the concourse of TD Garden. Oh yes, we're all the way live. And these fans, of course, are happy to see our very own Kendrick Perkins, 2008 NBA champion with the Boston Celtics. Come on now. Come on now. And the number one hype man, Striewski himself. We did not plan this.
Yes, we did. Our mom's got us matching outfits for this hoop stream because I haven't seen my girl Cassidy in a month, so it's all good. We're looking good.
I'm saying, we also have to introduce Christine Williamson, who's joining Hoop Streams for the very first time, who's going to be
what up,
with
what up, what up? Over here holding it down with the fans. Represent.
Awesome. Can't wait to hear from Christine. Also coming up later, Nets GM Sean Marks is going to be joining the show to give us an update on Kyrie Irving. Are we going to see him on Friday when he's in Brooklyn to take on the Celtics? We'll let you know what's going on there. And the great Malika Andrews will join us and tell us her perspective on how the Nets are bonding. And Perk is going to reveal a little secret about his time here in Boston.
And it's good. I got a little sneak peek, and it's real good.
But first, guys, it's the night before Thanksgiving.
Of course.
So we got to give thanks. Give me one thing you're thankful for in this NBA season so far.
I'm thankful for all the teams, like, basically being equal again. Like, we're seeing competitive basketball, like, it's spread it throughout, and it's making it beautiful for the fan base.
What about you, Gary?
I'm going to go with a certain individual, and you talk about him all the time. I know LeBron right now is the end-all, be-all. I mean, he's not playing like a 35-year-old guy. I'm thankful for Luka Doncic and what he's doing at 20 years old, has the Mavericks in the 4th seed right now. I know it's still very early.
No, I'm with it.
This guy is my number one must-watch NBA player. He's must-see TV.
League pass
like
alert.
The Red Zone, Cassidy, and you said that. Just like they have Red Zone for the NFL, they need to just have, like, Luka Zone. Anytime he's got the ball, it needs to cut to what he's doing.
I agree. And, my bad, Cassidy. I am thankful for Adam Silver. We have the best commissioner in the world. The NFL tried to steal him from us, but he's not going nowhere.
Not going
nowhere. And go ahead.
Oh, we'll get to that more. We got a whole 30-minute show to get to. Listen, we're gonna get into it. One thing I'm thankful for, that the injury to Kemba Walker wasn't as serious as it looks. He is active tonight, will be in the lineup after missing just one game with a neck sprain. So that is something to look forward to, as this game is the main attraction. We have the Nets and the Celtics. The 9-8 Nets taking on the 12-4 Celtics. And look, when the schedules came out, tonight was circled as a revenge night when Kyrie returning to Boston, AD going back to New Orleans. But one thing is for certain, Kyrie's jersey is not here in the rafters, and neither is he, as he'll miss the 7th game with a shoulder injury. And Perk, you shared your initial thoughts on Kyrie missing the game on Twitter. And of course, it blew up because that's what you do. You blow up the internet. Brooklyn, we go hard, but Brooklyn, we go home because Kyrie's not here. So what are you feeling now about not being able to see Kyrie take on the Celtics tonight?
Well, it's a disappointment. I mean, you look forward to these type of games. And as a player, you look forward to coming back to a situation and you embrace these type of opportunities, meaning I'm going to come in and I'm going to kick your butt. But, the thing that bothers me the most is that he always says that his mentor is Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant would have played tonight. So I got a problem with that. I just,
Now, the team is saying that shoulder injury it's serious.
Cass, listen, let me tell you something. One thing I know about from playing in the NBA, a team only will tell you what they want you to hear. They lie too, okay?
Can I just say one thing real quick?
Go ahead.
Because I know every single person who's going to pack the Garden, circle this calendar, all they wanted to do was boo. So I'm going to give them the opportunity. Let's just pretend Kyrie's here. Keep it PG!
You knew it. You knew it.
Like
you
I
knew
said,
it.
you got to keep it PG. I probably should not have done that.
Right.
I understand it's
Yes.
Boston. I probably shouldn't have
And
done that.
look, though, so you hear it, and then we also saw it outside the TD Garden. Look at some of the posters that were outside the TD Garden.
You gotta love it.
So you gotta love it.
Yeah, that's Boston for you
They
right
called
there.
him Coward.
Yes.
And look, they spent some money on the printing, because that is some high-level
That's some
printing
high-level-
right there.
yeah.
Got like the sheen over
Yeah,
it.
that's the sheen.
That's almost
That's that resume
That's
paper.
almost like a movie premiere type thing.
I mean, so look, these fans are passionate, and look, his teammates are going to hear it tonight, because I'm sure these fans are going to be fired up, even without Kyrie in the mix. But what did you make of Danny Ainge telling our Rachel Nichols that put the blame on him for what happened last year with Kyrie and the Celtics?
No, I mean, that's Danny, though. You know, Danny is a guy that he gives himself. And that's not fair to Danny. I'm not buying it. The blame is on Kyrie. Danny and the Celtic organization made Kyrie feel comfortable. They tried to adjust around him, even from Brad Stevens to the ownership. So the ball was in Kyrie's hand. He had full control. He was the leader. So Danny shouldn't be apologizing or taking the blame for absolutely nothing.
Okay.
At this point, right, like I'm not a guy who ever had experience in an NBA locker room. I'm just like everybody else watching, and I'm a fan. And you start putting the pieces together, right? All right, he was unhappy in Cleveland. Everybody wanted to blame LeBron because this is the first instance, right? Oh, yeah, maybe there is some credence to Kyrie wanting to just do his own thing, spread his wings, get his own team. He got that opportunity in Boston, and we think, all right, he's going to right the ship. This is going to be his team going forward. He had the Nike commercial. His dad played right down the street at BU. And then you started to hear the ruffling of the feathers in this locker room with the young players. So then you're starting to think, all right, maybe in Cleveland was an anomaly. And then it happens in Boston. He leaves Boston. And then, of course, we had a couple reports early on in the season, like he's already ruffling feathers in the Nets locker room. And you take that for what it's worth, right? So then you start just connecting the dots. If it happened in Cleveland, if it happened in Boston, you're starting to hear rumbles of it happening in Brooklyn. Maybe it's not the surroundings. Maybe it's the person saying that I have an issue with the surroundings.
No, I agree, because, I mean, sooner or later, if I get into an argument with 10 different people throughout the month of November, the problem not the 10 people, is me. Sure. I got to have some type of accountability.
And then when you look at the Celtics, I mean, they're thriving right now. At one point, they had the best record in the league. They've been dealing with some injuries. But what do you make of the Celtics not even missing Kyrie this season?
Well, we knew this was going to happen. I mean, even looking on Brad Stevens' face, he got a new life about himself. He's able to coach, but it's led by the all-star and his franchise guy, Kemba Walker. Mm-hmm. When you can coach Kemba, then you can coach the rest of these young guys. And I never seen a young team that's willing to sacrifice like they're sacrificing right now, and they're fun to watch. It's inspiring basketball.
Well, Gary, let's actually hear from the fans on how excited they are about this new team in Kemba Walker.
Let's make it happen.
Why don't you go over to Christine?
I'm going to take over here, and y'all got to remember, this is a children's show. Well, not really, but it's a family program. That's a big head of me. I don't ever want to see that. Christine, what we got going on over here?
Your head is almost about that size, Gary. It's not that much bigger
yeah, no,
than your
current head.
People say my head's like big
than that in real life.
Yeah,
anyway,
of
what
course.
we got?
Okay, so I'm over here with my girl, Julie. She has been a fan for a long time, but she also was the all-time leading scorer at her high school, so she's a baller. She's a baller. Okay, so Julie, you've been a Celtics fan for a long time. They're 12-4. How do you feel about the Celtics this season?
They're really good, and I think they're, outperforming what everyone is expecting. Everyone thought we were going to be crap without Kyrie, and we're just proving we have heart, we hustle, we play hard, and I'm really excited for the rest of the season. We're proving everyone wrong here in Boston.
The beautiful thing about Boston, I spent 5 years here. I worked right down the street.
For the Red Sox.
There you go.
She already knows.
I understand the passion, like somebody who was parachuted in this situation. The thing with the Celtics, they don't lose at home. They're undefeated at home. So not only were Celtics fans ready to break vocal cords and boo Kyrie until they forgot how to pronounce the word, but they're good here just to begin with. So what kind of atmosphere? You've been to a lot of games to opposing teams and people who have never paid a visit to the Garden come to expect.
It's crazy. We love our sports teams in Boston.
Yeah.
We root hard, We have their backs, and as soon as they start to get down, I think we bring that extra level that they're like, okay, the fans got us. Let's keep going. They play really freaking hard, and every game they could be down, and we're just bringing them up, and they're playing hard. They're a really freaking fun team to watch this year.
Christine, I can attest she's not lying.
She's not. She's not.
Lying.
You said that people thought that you guys were going to be crap without Kyrie. He's not here tonight. Obviously, he's with the Nets. Did you expect him to play tonight?
Yeah. I mean, it's your first game back against your own team. Play. But, I mean, it is what it is, and we'll just play without him. And we have Kemba, who's a great leader, and I'm excited for the rest of the season.
So everybody asking questions, where's Kyrie, where's Kyrie? Well, let's just rely on Miss Cassidy Hubbarth to now get those answers.
Thanks, Christine. I'm now on the floor here with Nets GM Sean Marks. Thank you for joining us on this Thanksgiving Eve. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Same to you. Thanks for having us.
Got to start off, obviously, with the elephant not in the room, with Kyrie Irving still dealing with that shoulder injury. What's the latest, and when are we going to be able to see him back out?
Yeah, he's improving well. We watched him work out today, so he's getting there. But again, I think we'll reevaluate when we get back from this road trip, after Thanksgiving, and see where it goes from there.
Okay, so it's still questionable as if he's going to play on Friday against Boston.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn. Okay, so as far as Kyrie and all of the noise around him, obviously ESPN had some reports about how he's transitioning with the team. Yeah. From your perspective, how do you think the chemistry has been, and what role has he taken on with your squad?
Well, he's taken on multiple roles, which is great to see. He's the first guy to come in and say, hey, look, I want to be in your office. Let me talk to you. And same for Kenny. I think, when you're really implementing 10 new players this year, it's not just Kyrie. So we've got 10 new guys, 10 new faces around the franchise. So everybody's trying to get to know one another. So that's never easy. It's not easy for staff. It's not easy for players and so forth. But that's all part of the journey. That's part of the process here. And I think we're all embracing it, and we're watching everybody grow. I mean, we're learning from Kyrie and the other new faces just like they're hopefully learning from us.
And Kyrie's addition to the team was one of the biggest stories from the summer.
Yeah.
Pretty much behind KD joining the Nets. So how do you focus on this season with one of the greatest players of arguably all time waiting in the shadows?
Well, I think it's really important. We've actually had that open discussion with Kevin and with the rest of the team that it's we're not just going to wait this year out and wait for Kevin to come back. I mean, Kevin's been diligent with his rehab, and we're seeing how competitive he is as he approaches that and he attacks it. But we have a job to do, and it would be really unfair to just sort of say, hey guys, just wait for Kevin. And Kevin be the first to say he doesn't want that. He wants this team to be out there performing and playing at a high level, so that when he does come back, we got to integrate him as well.
And we've seen him on the bench celebrating. There's been a lot to celebrate quickly. You guys have won 4 straight. What's been the key to your success lately?
Well, I think, it's a little bit about having these new guys mesh and so forth. It's very similar to last year, to be honest, when we had a couple of key guys go out, whether it was D'Angelo at times or Spencer at times, and it's got that next man up attitude, and our team has that. Kenny and the coaching staff have done a really nice job of staying diligent and imposing that upon the guys. Like, hey, look, nobody's feeling sorry for us. Nobody felt sorry for us last year, and we're taking that attitude into this year as well.
It's going to be a big one tonight. Thank you for taking the time to join us here on Hoop Street.
Pleasure. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. Team during these 4 straight wins, but Kyrie has been eating this season, averaging 28 points per game and 7 assists per game. The Nets have played 11 games with him.
Need y'all to get
and
loud,
6
right?
without. Look, Perk's ready. He's already talking to the crowd because he's loved here. You're watching Hoop Streams live on Twitter, YouTube, and the ESPN app as we get you set for our doubleheader here on ESPN. Oh, the crowd knows we're live. And we're starting with the Nets and Celtics here at TD Garden. Again, on ESPN and the ESPN app. Oh, we got a crew here at the Hub Bar as I'm here with a Boston Celtic champion. And Perk, look, you be saying some things. We know this, right? You got the Twitter fingers going.
Yeah.
And you know what? The reason why you say things is because the people want to hear it. Because you say, man, listen.
Man, listen. Hey, listen now. Listen. Hey, listen. Man, listen.
You can't tell the fans to tone it down because they're gonna yeah, we want them. Oh, where's Kyrie? That's good. Look, you tweeted about Magic Johnson having 17 guys in this MVP race. What are your thoughts on who the MVP is? Because you don't have 17 MVPs, do you?
Well, listen, my top 3 is LeBron James, Giannis, and Luka. But if I had to pick one, I got to go with King James. He got the Lakers rolling. He's playing some of the best basketball we didn't see in a long time. And I got to give it to LeBron.
I got to take a quick pause. As you hear the "Where is Kyrie?" Look at this side. These Boston fans, they are creative. They are creative. So look, Boston fans, obviously, they can't boo Kyrie himself because he won't be here. But Pelicans fans can let Anthony Davis tonight know how they feel about him. What do you think is going to happen tonight in New Orleans?
Well, I think AD's situation is different. I think it's mixed emotions. Listen, he gave his team 7 good years of his career. Put his body on the line. Yeah, the way he went out and asked for a trade was, some people might not like that. But Cassidy, come on, they got to give him some type of. I expect a mixed emotion. I wouldn't be surprised if they give him a standing ovation.
You really think so? I mean, with the "That's All Folks" shirts and the way he pushed himself out.
Yeah,
there's going to be some people. I mean, even Drew Holiday, he came out and said he hopes the same thing happens. But, it's a tough situation when he was forced that trade.
It's a tough. Listen, it's tough being down there and they didn't know, baby.
Yeah. But look, I'm sure they're excited to see LeBron and Anthony Davis because they're playing pretty well. And these people right here are excited to see this Celtics team. And you actually had a chance to speak with one of the members of the Celtics, Robert Williams.
Yes.
And let's see just what that conversation was like between you two.
All right, well, I'm back in my home, my second home away from home, back in Boston, back with one of my favorite young guys and my boy Robert Williams. They call him AKA Time Lord, but it's all good. How do you feel being a Boston Celtic?
Yeah, it's just love, man. Once they realize that you're putting in the work, they're gonna reciprocate the love back from the front office to the whole city. You feel me? So I just feel like it's love all around. It's a great fit for me.
I think the sky's the limit for you. A lot of people criticize and say, "Oh, the Celtics just one big man away," but they don't understand when Rob Williams get his opportunity, he produces. How you feel about that when you read? Because I know you guys read social media, y'all read articles about yourself, and it's a good thing because sometimes it's good to hear what the critics say. How you feel about that?
I just love proving people wrong, you know what I'm saying? So the hate and the doubt gonna come, you know what I'm saying? If it ain't there, then I ain't doing something right. But we all read the blogs or whatever, but it's just motivation, My teammates believe in me, my coaches believe in me.
That's all that matters. Look, Dan Ainge actually reached out to me. He was like, "Man, I want you to connect with Rob, man. Y'all got a lot of similarities. Look, I think y'all just alike, and now I see why, man, because you're a real dude. Like the country's. I love what you bring on the court. And, man, I just want you to continue great success, man, and just keep putting in that work because it's going to pay off."
Appreciate it,
and thanks for the opportunity. All right.
Don't take my job now, Perk. Don't take my job, okay? You did good there. You did real good. Look, but the Celtics and their big man, that's been an issue for them. That's what's circled and highlighted as a room for improvement, losing Al Horford and Baines. So do you think that Williams could be an answer for this?
I do. Him and Diaz, they've been playing well in their minutes. But listen, the Celtics are tough. It don't matter if you're big, small, or whatever. Danny Ainge, before he goes out and scout talent, he scouts your heart. And all these guys, you can't find one soft guy on this team. So, the only matchup that they really have to face, if they face a Philadelphia with Joel Embiid, and guess what you do with that? I got an answer. You bring up Big Taco Fall and let him play against him a little bit.
Look, you had some nice chemistry there. I mean, like I meant it. You did a really good job reporting there.
No, Cass, listen, I was so nervous. You got that.
Look,
that was so country, two country boys.
No, you're great. You're
one
great.
from Louisiana, one from Beaumont, Texas.
The fans love you, and people love you. In fact, you and Gary hit the streets of Boston. And you got into the shenanigans.
I did.
Let's take a look at it.
What about like they got it like the big.
Oh, wait.
We're back in Boston, the city of champions, this fan base, the most loyal, the most passionate, and the smartest out there. But can they name every member of the 2008 Celtics championship roster? You got Rondo, you got Garnett, you got Pierce, you got Allen, and then you got
What? What you mean?
and then you got Kendrick Perkins.
Say, G, you my boy and all, yeah, but I was supposed to be the first name come out your mouth today.
That's my bad. I want zero problems, Perk.
Nah, I don't want no problem. You my boy, but you should already know that.
All right, let's go see if anybody else wants these problems. Can you name some players from that 2008 championship roster?
Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett.
Paul Pierce, Garnett.
Rajon Rondo.
We got Ray Allen, Tony Allen,
Scott Pollard, Kendrick Perkins.
Okay, Perkins, I work with him. Okay. How was he as a player?
Doc Rivers really only put them there to look big and get rebounds, and he couldn't even do that right.
What would you say if he was right in front of your face? Would you say the same thing?
Oh, absolutely. I tell him, he's arguably the #1 most posterized victim of all time. All these guys dunked all over him all across the league. I mean, come on, you're 6'10", you're 400 pounds. How can...
Time out, Yo!
Kevin Garnett, Rajon Rondo.
What about they got it like the big.
Oh, wait.
What about Perk? What about Kendrick Perkins?
No, because I just feel like a whole cloud. I'm like, wait, somebody's standing behind me, bro. It's just a New York thing. I'm like, wait, hold up.
Sometimes things happen like that. I mean, you forget players. It is what it is, You forget who they are and you forget what happened. So it's Kendrick Perkins. 2008 NBA champion Kendrick Perkins.
That's how we feel, man.
Kendrick Perkins.
Was he a baller?
Yeah, well, in 2009 he got injured and they lost in Game 7. If they'd had him, I think they would have won.
That's facts. And a lot of people think that.
There he is.
Hey, became my favorite fan right here today. This is the best one yet.
Perk just made a new best friend. Okay, so the best part about this was Perk was like, go talk to the old heads because they'll know what went down 10 years ago.
Right.
And every single one we talked to, there were some that didn't even make the cut. We're like, you know what, Perk? Blue collar, lunch pail, first one in, last one out. And it wouldn't even skip a beat. When they would turn around and see Perk, they'd be like,
oh, yeah.
There he is right there.
Right.
And then they would just become best friends.
Look, because they realized that, they need to cherish this man because he helped give a chip. What are some things that you cherish about your time during your championship with Boston? Tell us something that we don't know about your time in Boston.
Well, my time in Boston, first of all, you got to get adapted to the clam chowder. That was the best, right?
Oh, okay.
All right?
Yes.
The fans are the best because the fans know the game of basketball, not just points, rebounds, assists, but they actually know if you're not making the effort, taking charges, stuff like that, and you don't find that everywhere. So I had some great experience. I had one bad experience. Moving from the South, I got caught in my first snowstorm, and I was stuck in my truck for like 6 hours, couldn't move at 18, but that's a whole nother story, though.
I also heard something about...
What's that, Cass? What you heard?
That there was some chicken
You got to fuel before the game. You got to fuel up before the game.
I do. Listen, so every day, before the game, right? They used to be like, Perk, we need you to eat healthy. I was like, all right, cool, I eat healthy. So I would trick the ball boys. I'd pay them like $40 to go get me some chicken tenders and fries. I would literally sneak in the Bruins locker room and go eat chicken. Cass, listen, you think I got this for nothing? You think I got this right here for nothing? Nah, you good?
Look for me.
Go right there, G.
You're retired. You're retired, you know.
There you go right there.
There's a difference between Perk fueling up. This is a 6'11" frame before a game. You need, if you never had a TD Garden chicken tender, you're missing out. This is straight protein. And when you're bullying on the block, you got to fuel up.
Save room for Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow night. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We now need to bring in the great Malika Andrews. She's going to be joining
What's up on the
Thanksgiving table.
I gotta get on the party over here.
It is a party,
Clearly, look at all of these people.
Give it up for Malika Andrews, everybody. And Malika obviously covers all the NBA, but focuses a lot on the Nets.
That is right.
I spoke with Sean Marks earlier. He gave us an update on Kyrie, but can you take us inside that locker room? What more can you tell us about how this team is gelling together?
Well, if you ask them, if you ask any of these players, they will say that Kyrie is fitting in swimmingly with this team. They like what he brings to this locker room. They like the culture. That being said, only time will tell, as all of these folks know so well, right? So right now, they really like what he is bringing. That being said, he'll be missing at least 7 games with this injury, and so they haven't been able to see quite how he's going to gel with the entire group on the court.
And we've seen Spencer Dinwiddie take advantage of this opportunity. What have you made about his performance? He's really playing some of the best basketball of his career.
Well, I mean, he had to take a back seat while Kyrie was there, but now we're able to see him for who he is. And if to me, he's all-star potential. And you speaking of gelling, the Nets are gelling right
now. Right now.
Without Kyrie,
correct.
By the way. But I love Spencer Dinwiddie. I love what he brings to the table. He's a scoring machine, but he got a tough matchup tonight against Marcus Smart, my defensive player of the year.
Look, we saw you talking before the game. Of course, I mean, we already know that you're a celebrity around these parts. But we saw you talking a lot to a lot of different players. Give us the scoop. You're already taking my job, so give us the scoop, reporter. What did you get on what the Celtics are doing this season so far?
What I got out of from the Celtics, their focus. I talked to Gordon Hayward while he was on the court, and I was like, y'all gonna win a ring this year? He was like, oh, I'm gonna try. I was like, what you mean you gonna try? Let him know. I told him, I said, you see this on my finger? You gotta go get this.
There is no try, only do.
Huh?
There is no try, only do. Isn't that the saying?
You gotta go get it. You gotta go get it. I got a chance to talk with Jaylen Brown and Tatum, and they all just, it's unbelievable. I went to their shoot around today, and just their chemistry. Brad had to literally kick them off the court. They're playing one-on-ones against each other. This Celtic team is a dangerous team. Make me want to come out of retirement, just sit on the bench, though, because I ain't doing no work.
With the chicken fingers, right? Sitting on the bench with the chicken fingers.
Chicken fingers. Look, we're excited that we're going to be able to see Kemba Walker tonight as he's returning after missing 1 game with a neck injury. Tim Bontemps actually had an interesting story at ESPN.com where he polled 7 executives, and all 7 of them said that Kyrie Irving is a more talented player, but 6 of the 7 executives said that they would choose to have Kemba Walker on their team over Kyrie Irving. What's your reaction to that?
I agree. I would have Kemba. I need a guy that's all in. I need a superstar that's going to lose himself into the team, and that's what Kemba has done. You could tell he's moving. Like even when things are not going well for him, he's cheering on his teammates. That's what a leader do. That's what a franchise player is. And the way he done came in and embraced this situation, I'm taking Kemba Walker all day long.
I mean, it's easy to see why Kemba is so successful on this team. He is a locker room guy who brings people together. That being said, it's interesting to see how much guys talk about chemistry, how much executives talk about how important chemistry is, and then how quickly they are willing to flush that away in order to sign big superstars. So this is a testament to that working, to having locker room culture be the most important thing and have that work. That is what's happening here with the Boston Celtics right now.
How important, you won a championship. How important is chemistry?
It's very important on and off the court. I think, when you develop chemistry, especially when you know somebody personally, you're going to go the extra mile for them when it's time to get between those lines. And a lot of people don't understand that. When Golden State won their first championship, I read an article. Every time they was on the road, everybody went to dinner together. You get to know one another. That carries on onto the court.
Playing with joy. That's what Steve Kerr called it. And there's something to be said for playing with joy.
And look, when it comes to chemistry, it's you got to be a family because it's a long season. speaking of families, as I transition here, Thanksgiving is the ultimate family holiday.
My favorite.
I know, my favorite too. What's your favorite dish?
I'm kind of like the fried turkey type
Fried
guy.
turkey.
I'm a mac and cheese girl
Okay.
all day.
Well,
all
we got
day.
Gary and Christine over there.
We gotta
and
find
they're gonna
out.
talk to some of the fans.
What's up? What's up? We're here with
Thanksgiving and
Milo.
everything else.
Fan of the program, 12 years old, right? You're 12 years old. But he's been a fan since he was a baby, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
dude
sir.
looks like Justin
I'm a
Bieber.
sir.
Look at that. Heck yeah.
Justin Bieber's twin. You said you were a huge fan of Jason Tatum. Why is that?
Because he can explode to the rim, he catches ankles, he can hit the three, he can pass it out, you know?
Of course, of course. All right, so what do you think about tonight? How's the matchup going to play out?
It's going to be interesting for sure. I mean, my take on the matchup, I think the Celtics are going to win for sure. For sure.
He's just trying to be cool because he has Gary right next to him. He's also a fan of Gary Striewski.
I'm just his hype guy. That's all I am here for. I'm hyping up Milo just like he's about to be hyping up the C, so it's all good.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you guys, and thanks to all of the fans here at the Hub Bar. And make sure to enjoy the game. Coming to you live. You can watch it here on the app. Just log into your cable provider. Now we return in a couple weeks for Kawhi's return to Toronto. Thanks for watching Hoop Streams.